Newport Avenue Market may have the largest salt selection in Central Oregon. You heard that right. Salt. Each serving its own purpose.
What differences do you think I'm going to experience today when we go from one to the next? Because I've really only experienced maybe 2 of these.
Think about it like, why wouldn't the oceans of the Pacific Ocean be different than Japan or off of France? You know, the Atlantic, you talk about the minerals and the sea life and the kelp and all the stuff that's in the oceans. Like, of course, when you get the salt from there, it's going to have those minerals and things that make it different and unique. So that's one piece, is just the flavor of the salt. And then the other big piece that we'll talk a little bit about is the consistency of the salt. So flaky versus coarse versus fine, and then how those get into different foods and why it's important.
The wide selection started with Debbie Dory, one of Newport Market's main founders.
She just fell in love with it, and so like you might go around the world collecting things like shot glasses or golf balls or whatever when you travel.
She got salt.
She collects salt. So I can't remember how many she has. I got to try about 40 of them.
Oh, wow.
I'm guessing, knowing Debbie, she has several hundred of them from around the world. And we have some here today. So I would say that hers inspiration is really where salt comes from at Newport Market.
Most people are familiar with Morton salt, a salt with a finer consistency, most often used in baking. But there are far more types out there, not as common, but used to bring out the flavor of food, not mask it.
Let's try this one first. Remind me what this guy is.
That's just a basic sea salt with no iodine in it. That one's made from Hain Company, fairly standard, but it doesn't have a lot of the caking ingredients and iodine and added minerals that maybe you would give it an off taste. So it's pretty pure.
Yeah, no, tasty. Still got a pretty fine texture, like I'm probably used to. All right,
you could use that in baking.
All right, switch it over with the cucumber this time.
Yeah, and then this is France, right? So a gray salt. So you're going to see it might have dried out a little bit there, but
a little grainier.
Good taste, a little heavier on the minerals because it's actually gray, and that's some of the minerals from that area.
Then there's salt meant to add more of a finishing touch.
Let's just go right down the line. So try a smoked salt. Company is out of Seattle. Yeah, alder smoked, and it's fine, so it's already ground up. And they have a whole bunch of different ones. But
oh wow, that's so different.
Right, that's smoked one. I'm gonna try that one.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I didn't realize there were so many types of salt. I also didn't realize that there were so many flavors of salt as well. They're not all the same size, but they are a little bigger than maybe your coarser salt that we tried right at the beginning.
Yeah, so that would be a good finishing salt, but dissipates pretty quickly again, compared to some of the more granular ones.
Newport Market will give you a greater appreciation for salt in all of its forms.
We go to trade shows, we talk to, we have a lot of importers, we talk to a lot of people, so we're constantly dealing with, I think we have over 1,000 vendors that we're using any particular day, which is the unique part. That's how we can capture, one little salt. We're always able to come up with unique salts from around the world and keep them turning, keep them different.